I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Someone on the Boston Pizza text line, speaking of have a drink on me, wants to know if Kirby wound up having some Sambuca at Joe's Halloween extravaganza out there in Charleswood last night.
Kirby, you better answer.
I didn't make it out to Charleswood last night.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I will say this. I had some people as they were making the turn on my bay in Charleswood asked the same thing, and I said, "I'm sorry, there was a cancellation. I didn't have enough time."
A late-minute cancellation.
Yeah. We had throat problems.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they usually
Diva.
is?
What are you,
like,
Axl Rose?
Well, you know.
She went on at 11 o'clock. Last time Axl, remember at the stadium, kept everybody waiting till
I
11.
just wanted to give my best performance, and I felt like it wasn't going to happen last night. So I
that's
decided
fair.
to just have some wine with the cats.
You know what I did, Phil? I took your advice, and I hooked up one of the Bluetooth speakers. I found a Halloween playlist
Isn't that
on
great?
Apple, put it on, and yeah. But I'll tell you what, the kids started early again this year.
Same
I'm
here.
finding it was like 5:20.
I had 4:30.
What?
Okay.
I had a
We
family
have to talk about this.
4:30.
I think we are.
Let me just say, we're
Yes.
talking about this.
It was like a conversation. I saw so many people like throwing it in to the St. Boniface community
Yeah.
Facebook page.
I hate to
because
tell you, it
people-
happened in Charleswood too.
Well, no, it must be a thing. Like they're
Transcona.
just like the question is like when is it too early to start trick or treating?
Well, sorry, Joe. I'll say that
Yeah.
that 4:30 family was and then there was them, and then there was a gap and between like an hour before the next, and then it started getting busy around between 5:30 and 6.
Yeah, we never used to go out before 6. That
Same.
was always an unwritten rule, I think, growing
Yeah.
up in most parts. But the last couple of years, I've noticed it's been about 5:20, and I think we're creatures of habit because it wrapped up at around the same time for me, just about 7:40 last night. I had a big lull, and then I had a knock at the door at about 8:15, but there was a couple of older girls. But I saw more younger kids than I did even teenagers, and I will say this, every one of them very polite.
Yeah,
With
I
a
agree.
thank you or
Yeah.
a happy Halloween, and that was fantastic.
These kids are on my schedule, man. Getting,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
out early, getting done early.
I think I had about 100.
Yeah.
And I'm with
Wow.
you, Joe. It died down around 8, although I had the music going, so more kids' music around, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, like the Monster Mash and all that stuff. And then I got into some Metallica, like Master of Puppets,
Sure.
Godsmack around 7:30 to 8:30. Of
course, there was
and,
Godsmack.
and my wife shows up with the kids. She goes, "You're the only light still on the street,
Yeah.
and you're cranking your tunes. We
Yeah.
can hear you on the whole day." I'm like,
That's awesome.
I'll turn the music down. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I had 167 kids, a little bit over last year. You're not going to believe it. Mr. Halloween Anxiety on candy.
Yeah.
168 chocolate bars. I had one left, and I ate it at about 9:30.
What a treat for you.
I'll tell you, one left, and I didn't even share it with Christy. She goes, "How many we got left?" I said, "There's one."
And you're what kind of chocolate bar? By
It was
the
a
way?
coffee crisp.
a good
Somebody
bar.
didn't want the coffee crisp, which was fine. But I will say this: I went through a bottle and a half of Sambuca. I did get the
That's
Sambuca
amazing.
shots going.
That's
I
a
found
great
these
idea.
2-ounce glasses, and it was a
I
hit.
saw the picture on your social media there, but yeah, like it was such a cute little setup. You had like the chocolate bars laid out for them to pick from
Oh
themselves.
yeah, I let the kids pick because you know what? I always found you're looking for the high,
Yeah.
right? Like the kid walks up to you and you put, let's say, something they don't like in their bag.
Right.
They're not that appreciative. At least this way you let them pick.
Yeah.
And I swear there was someone that had just moved here from another country, and you could tell with the mom. The mom's English wasn't so great either, and the little kid was shy and came up, and I said, "Oh, grab whichever one you want." And the kid grabbed one of each type, and I couldn't stop her. I could not stop her because, what do you say to that? Lost in translation. I couldn't do it.
Well done. I love it.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
We've got your back. Call the Bone phone. 780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
Yeah, for the guy in the shiny black truck in front of the keg at 4 p.m. on Friday, just because you're trying to illegally turn into the second lane doesn't give you the right to pull out into the first lane and just sit there, you idiot. I had to go down Moray. It was clear all the way to the turn to Moray, but nope, I had to sit there because you decided to pull out into the first lane and block traffic.
Let us know.
I think he's mad.
Coming in hot.
That gentleman, who I'll call the beeper today because there's a lot of beeps, doesn't call in a lot. But when he does,
He's heated.
he hits a home run
Yeah.
with his traffic issue.
He sure does. Speaking of hot, this guy as well.
So I've been driving in this city since I legally could at the age of 15. That was all the way back in 2017 when they had just invented that whole area in front of the Outlet Mall. And I am saying right now, that area can be 80 kilometers per hour if you're not a friggin' idiot. They just instead, I cannot believe they slowed it down to 70 instead of just fixing the problem that the lights have where the next light you want to go to is red. But no, I live in like the worst reality. I live in the stupidest reality. At some point in between 2017 and now, I crossed into the multiverse and landed in the stupidest Winnipeg I have ever seen.
That's so good. Isn't that like the speed he's talking about? Okay, like when you were going 80 and you had to stop between light to light, what was the point of getting to 80?
I know.
Right? So that's what he's talking about. But well put. Like, it's so good.
Okay, at some point, Sunfest, an old rock festival. It comes up on the show all the time when
You guys love,
Yeah.
You reminisce about, even I can tell you tales of
man.
Sunfest, and I've never been. Like the mud, people talk about how, like,
Mudfest.
yes, Mudfest.
great.
And Pearl Jam.
Yes.
And
Yes.
other big bands, Red Rider.
Tragically
Hip.
So we got anyway. Guilty. This call came in some point in the last 10 days with him questioning some timelines.
All right, we're doing the math, Philly. Fact checking always here, right? Facts matter. Okay, so you said you went to Sunfest. What were you, 12? Like, aren't you 50 years old? And you seen the hip? Okay, I think they were every year. But what, were you there when you were underage drinking? Yes, say it, yes. Anyway, when
Never.
the were you there? Because I was at every one of them, and just imagine Philly and Gilly. Guilty as charged.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd
Fact
be-
check. I need info. Joe, did you go?
Of
Okay,
course.
So it was 3 or 4 years. I can tell you, 1 year the headliner was like Tom Cochrane. 1 year, like it was Tom Cochrane one night, Sass Jordan another night.
Yeah.
Then there was 1 year with Pearl Jam. I was there for that.
Yep.
And I'm positive there was a Tragically Hip year as well, but it's a little blurry in there, and there might have been.
I can't remember if there was a hip year or not, to be honest.
Yeah.
Your memory's a lot better than mine. But Pearl Jam, Red Rider, and I was part of the city crew back then.
Yeah.
So we did Sunfest every year, and I don't know if I've ever told the story, but we lost a buddy 1 year.
That was common.
And, well, we lost them like as far as
Like, he
the
didn't
rest of us
die?
left. And this guy got stuck behind and ended up walking in the middle of the night and slept. You know that church on Highway 8? That church?
Oh, boy.
He made his way into the church.
He
and
slept in the church?
yeah, I don't think it was open. But yeah, it was a cold night coming back from Sunfest. And every time I drive by that church, it brings up Sunfest. But there were so many great memories, like
It was
Kirby even
wild.
mentioned. But yeah, I can't remember all the headliners because it was a 3-day festival. But Pearl Jam, once Pearl Jam hit, it really never recovered after that.
Agreed. Yeah. And I just, you mentioned getting lost. I just remember getting lost trying to go from the stage to your campsite.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. And you'd have to ask security, like, hey, I have no
Yeah.
idea where I'm going.
Well, I always think back, like, I mean, I like with cell phones. Like, how the hell did we?
Yeah.
How did we go to shows like that and not have a way to like connect with the group of people?
You know what? It was
Well,
great.
they-
I'll just
It
say
was great,
yeah.
but you would always have stories like Joe said. You'd have one person that didn't make it back and they
Oh, yeah.
slept somewhere odd.
There was none of that going on. There was no phoning somebody or taking a picture of them while they were laying down in the mud.
Let's wrap with this. This guy came by my place last night, Halloween.
Yo, Philly. Hey, thanks for topping my kids' sack off with all those Halloween treats. #1 morning show in Manitoba. I was just saying Canada. Why not? Let's go that extra length there. You guys, man, I swear to God, I understand loose lips sinks ships, but Philly, you couldn't even tell me if my guess was right or wrong.
Nope.
For who the hell is it? My God. Bro, I need a little bit of help here. You know, tonight was all about the kids and the look on their faces when you gave them the good stuff. Amazing. Thank you, brother. Really do appreciate it. You put a smile on my 2 favorite girls. Thank you so much.
And he was hammering me for clues, and he wanted to know if his guess was right. And I'm like, I can't tell you.
His kids were probably a block and a half away still trick-or-treating, and he was grinding Phil.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Why don't you ask her?
I'm telling you.
Good morning, Barb, the cleaning lady. I have not met Barb yet, but I've heard she's fantastic here in our new digs, 22 Scurfield. We've moved from Osborne Village, and we're getting used to the surroundings. Everything, engineering did a great job, but I'm hearing about new people like Barb, the cleaning lady.
Yeah, met Barb yesterday as I was leaving the building, but you guys were kind of razzing me a bit because you thought I was asking a complete stranger. But he was a stranger to me.
Well, we've gotten
about
to know
the
him.
thermostat.
We've gotten to know him a bit, too. He's been doing some work here.
Yeah, and the thermostat is set in this room. But it feels a little cooler now, doesn't it? Or is it just psychological, maybe?
I don't know, Joe.
Because it's a set thermostat. You can't change it.
I feel like you are prepping me for menopause. Like, I am ready to go in life when that change of life strikes because I'm just used to the room being hot, cold, hot, cold.
You are in charge. You're pretty much, you're in tune with the temperature in the room. You are. And so this guy, did we get a name? He's an electrician?
Nope.
We
Nope,
didn't get a
because
name.
we were just going on the air, so he left the room.
We got to get his name.
You're
He's a
also
good
in-
guy.
You're
Good
in
guy.
tune with my emotions as well, Joe. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, try to be. Yeah.
He is, though. You know what he is.
Yes.
I think so. He can tell when you need a pick-me-up, and he starts chatting you up.
She needed one today.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
Yeah.
See?
You're having a date? I don't even know what's
As
going
soon
on.
as I had to let her in the building, she forgot her
I forgot
card.
my card and my other jacket.
And right away, as soon as I got, hey, Curbs, sorry, I had to find my card. I didn't know if I needed to get you back in the building. Yeah, thank you very much. We got to talk about something I've got coming up. And so that was the first thing. Not how was everything, but that's okay. That's Curbs sometimes.
I got a big gig this weekend.
You
And
do.
She was complaining about the
Congratulations.
heat. Yeah.
Tell us about the gig.
I'm emceeing at RBC Convention Center, the Rainbow Gala.
That's
That's
big,
huge.
huge evening. Kudos to you and good luck.
Yeah, there's going to be almost 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rainbow Resource Center does amazing work. So I'm excited that they've chosen me as the MC.
Now, listen. Kirby's doing the live auction tomorrow night, and that's no chump change when you're doing a live
That's
auction.
why I had to talk
But
to this guy.
Here's the best part. I was looking at the agenda and the itinerary for Kirby, and there's
Saw
a
ya.
lot. There's a lot for you to take in for tomorrow. I wish you the best, as Phil said. But one of the items is, I think it's a 15-seater for an upcoming Winnipeg Jets game, and it gives you a suggested price, and then it gives you a suggested starting price. And I'm going to write some notes, and we're going to need your help, Phil, too, to give Kirby a little coloring on this whole Jets thing, because you
boy.
can't just walk in there and go sports. Like, you're going to have to have a
Well, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Can we get $1,000 on this
Who doesn't
sports
love
thing?
going
Yeah.
to an active sporting game?
Yeah, you see, that's
There
not
To
going to...
celebrate.
We're trying to help you raise
sports.
money.
Okay.
One of the trips... One of the trips is a trip to Churchill to see the polar bears and that.
That is very cool.
That's an easy sell because even if you haven't been there, you know what you're talking. Oh, who wouldn't like to go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you selling a big Jets package.
I need some
We'll give you some details.
assistance, yeah.
They're 9-1, blah, blah, blah. They'll be 10-1 after tonight,
Oh,
hopefully.
I don't know about stats.
No, but that's where we're going to write you some notes.
Yeah, we will.
I'm going to write them on my hand. I'll be up
So
there being
anyway,
like,
I was in touch with her emotions today, and she complains every day that right now there's all these cords underneath her with an opening. It's a vent and the heat. But here I am adjusting the thermostat apparently just for me. So she says her shins are burnt, but the rest of her is cold.
you really do listen to me, don't you?
Oh, my God.
I've never felt so heard in my whole life.
Yeah, well, you're heard all right.
I am so glad I miss all this. I
Yes.
had no idea.
So now you know, here I am trying to fit the thermostat, but it's just for me, not for the person that has third-degree burns on her shins because of a vent.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I mean, at any given time, any of us could read something entertainment-wise, and this one just kind of stood out to me. But Ryan Reynolds, great Canadian, speaks highly of being Canadian, has been dabbling with his buddy Rob McElhaney there. You might just know the name because they've been in business for a while buying up sports teams.
They got the soccer team. They got the show about the soccer team, right?
Yeah. Well, the team they're buying is Wrexham, right? Or that they own, Wrexham AFC. And they've dabbled. They were looking at buying into the NHL and other things, right? Well, I guess with this minority ownership and they're buying and selling stuff comes some beer, a lager beer company that is going to be part of the deal. And I look at the name of their company, and I told you many years ago.
Branding.
I
knew he was. I know this guy. This is the first time I'm hearing this story, but I know how Joe thinks, and
He's a business guy.
It's
Kirby,
branding.
you know what their venture is called?
What is it
Might
called?
not even talk to Phil anymore. Red Dragon Ventures.
What?
Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhaney, these guys, multi-millionaires, have swept it up right under the man's
Phil-
eyes. Red Dragon Ventures cannot even be yours. Another Canadian.
If I had Joe's business savvy, I would have locked down Red Dragon a long time ago.
This is why we told you to patent it.
You know what? I understand 2 kids in hockey can get expensive, but once in a while you got to look out for yourself. It would have been a legal fee. You could have trademarked the name. It would have been yours.
Website already, you know,
could have sold
secured.
it. They could have sold it to Reynolds and McElhaney if they wanted the name that
You've
bad.
told me multiple times on this show that you have serious questions about my business acumen. You've actually said that. Like, whenever we have an idea, you'll say to me, "I'll handle the business end of things."
Well, it started with our official seniors complex you and I were going to open that Kirby wanted no part of, and then I almost had to bail out of it when you said, "Hey, I'll look after
The menu.
the menu," and it was all meat, high sodium, processed food products, and we're supposed to live in a healthy living environment. That was
outbreak of gout.
yeah. I had Now we got to bring in medical people on a more regular basis.
Why is this one retirement home have so much gout?
Yes. All of a sudden, it's a news story you're covering.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
You ready? You were born ready. I mean, maybe take some time out of talking to the cleaning lady, Barb, and focus on PJK the extra.
Listen, I'm going to sidebar this for half a second because it just made me think of something when you said born ready. Like that's an old school statement, right?
Yep.
For sure. But, you know, on things like Facebook and Instagram now, every once in a while, something will come up and it says Aubrey Strong, and then it's trying to sell you on your last name like a T-shirt or the year you were born because your birthday comes up. Well, that would be the T-shirt that they need to make now. Born ready and your year.
I'd be okay
There's
with that.
something there, right? Just born ready and then your year.
Joe, we have come up with so many ideas about T-shirts.
I'm telling you.
And I'm going to let you take it over because none of it seems to come to fruition because I don't get all over it because of my less than stellar business acumen. Anyway, you want to tell a story and you found this and it's very funny and involves Brent Burns and the Carolina Hurricanes?
Yeah, it's a few days old, but anybody that has played some kind of sport at whatever level or has been a part of some team, whether it's gymnastics, swimming, all the way to hockey, I thought this was pretty cool, especially since it happened at the pro level. So the Carolina Hurricanes are in Seattle to play the Kraken, and their next trip is into Vancouver. Well, you don't hear these stories very often because at the pro level, they're flying private, right? And this plane is not taking off, which we hear publicly all the time with airlines, right? So they end up getting a bus because it's only a couple hours from Seattle to Vancouver. Well, what happens is, of course, these guys are hungry. Games played, right? And
That makes
usually-
sense.
And there's usually food on the plane, isn't there?
yeah, it's all taken care of right at that level. Anyway, Burns has this great idea that they're going to order McDonald's. So he gets the app, and Brent Burns uses the app, and he orders like 100 cheeseburgers and whatever else, so that once they hit that McDonald's in the town, it's a quick pickup, and you go. But as everyone knows, most drive-thrus now, you can't walk through. They tell you got to go in with a vehicle. So
Well, you
here's
certainly can't take a huge bus through there. Like,
so
you
the bus
take down
isn't
all the
going
signs.
100%. But if you've ever been on one of these tours, the bus pulls over, right, and you get out and you usually go in. Well, this is in the middle of the night. So here's Brent Burns, and if you've seen this tall dude,
Giant
he's got
beard.
the giant beard, his front teeth missing, and he's walking around, and they won't give him the food because he's trying to walk through. So he ends up going up to one of these drivers. So now imagine he's walking up to a car at like 2 a.m. or something, asking if he can get in the car to just go through to make it. So so a complete stranger lets Brent Burns into his vehicle, and they go through the drive-through just so he can get the order to bring on the bus.
That is such
What
a good
a
story.
story.
Yeah. I hope Burns set that guy up with tickets or some kind of a trip to Carolina to see the Hurricanes.
That'd be fun.
Or
Because
at
that
least
is.
a free burger.
By the way, I like the app. I do that now.
Yeah.
I fill it out if I'm getting a big order for the family. And I'm late to the game. I know there's people listening going, "You just figured out how to order food on an app." And yeah, I've always been a denier with that. I'll go through the drive-thru. I'll order it that way. And this way, you could scroll through the whole menu. I don't have to get to the drive-thru and go, "You've got that avocado wrap, the chicken." Like, I don't have to do that
I've
anymore.
never used it.
Yeah, it's great.
My wife has when we went on that Western Canada road trip because you're a couple of miles out and you can put the order in, you go, boom, and you're on the road.
So good.
So let me ask you, in the city, I could be sitting here right now in this studio.
Yep.
Punch in what I want. Do you have to give them a time?
You have to give them no, because they know when you've pulled up. For example, if I want, I have to put the location. So the McDonald's, for example, where I want to pick it up.
Yeah.
They don't start making the order till you pull in. So I pull, and then you have to enter the parking space you're in. I'm in space 5. Enter.
Okay.
Thank you. We are
It's
now going to
fresh.
start your order.
It's fresh.
Yeah, and like 8 minutes later, they walk out with a bag of food.
Because now you don't have to go in the drive-through line,
Bang.
and it's a little quicker for everyone.
Oh my gosh. Now, if more people could figure that out and take less time up in the drive-thru, we
know
would
what?
just be functioning better as a society.
They might have solved the healthcare system if they start doing that with healthcare. You put it in
The
your app.
triage system.
Here's
got a
my
broken
ailment. I'll be waiting here. Stall 5.
I got a broken arm. Stall 5. That's PJK Extra.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Now, it's time for the lock of the week. Lock it up.
That intro's up for an award, by the way, at the Western Canadian Radio Intro Awards, the lock of the week.
Oh, the intro awards.
The voice guy. Yeah,
the intro
intro
awards.
awards.
I can't believe they're coming up so soon.
they're
It's
huge.
really grown. It started at the Tim's in Kamloops, British Columbia. That was attached to a gas station. They only had 6 tables, and then they moved it to a full blown-out Tim's, and now it's a banquet hall.
The nominees are Lock It Up. All right, here we go. Some picks for you. I'll go first. I've been struggling. I'm going to be honest. We have a couple of wins this year on the Lock of the Week. I'm going to go CFL, and it pains me to do this. I can't believe I'm about to do it. But I'm taking the Saskatchewan Roughriders to win at home against the BC Lions. Of course, the Riders. I don't normally pick the Riders because we hate the Riders. But they're paying $1.55. I just think BC's a broken team. They've been kind of broken ever since they brought in Nathan Rourke, and things have been, which quarterback should play. So I just think the Riders are good money there at $1.55 on the money line on playnow.com. Kirby.
I just
sorry,
find the Lions so scary because either one of those quarterbacks can light you up.
Yeah.
But the Riders at home, what a season they've had.
Who would you rather play, BC or the Riders, if you're the Bombers?
I'd rather play Saskatchewan. I just find BC puts up a lot of yards against us. So
Okay.
either way, the rivalry is big. BC sucks, as we always say here, but the
BC
Rider,
sucks.
Winnipeg. If you're the CFL, you probably want that Winnipeg Saskatchewan rivalry.
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going with the Riders, Curbs.
Well, it was a tough choice. There's a lot of great games this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my Chiefs.
What?
I know it was a tough choice there, buddy, but basically I got a few reasons. Okay, well,
Really? Okay.
the first reason is obviously Halloween yesterday. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift were the inspo for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. They're big. Yeah, they
Kelly
went over
Ripa and Mark Consuelos
Did
or whatever.
they?
Yeah, they were Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And also, well, that's basically it. So
A lot of reasons.
That's basically it. They're paying a whopping $1.21 on the money line
Okay.
to beat Tampa Bay. That's easy money, Curbs.
Well,
They'll
and-
win.
and
They will win.
Kelsey gave like Winnipeg love.
Yes, with the
like
Bomber
that was
jersey.
just so cool to see. You know, as a Winnipeg Swiftie.
Okay, we're running out of time here,
Okay,
Curbs.
I think I'm
Thanks
done. All right,
for that
back to you, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's a lot of great games this weekend, and I've got a lot of reasons for picking
Joe, I already
Kirby's
said that.
favorite coach in the National Football League,
My boy.
Dan Campbell. And the reason is because it pays. Detroit is going in Green Bay. This is one of the tougher games of the weekend, and it should be one of the highlighted games, but they're 3-point favorites. I'm only taking them because there's some value to this bet with Detroit, even though it is one of the tougher games to pick. But we got to
$1.73. $1.73,
Wow,
Detroit. That's pretty
big
good.
money.
And that is a big game.
All I think about is you guys.
Yeah.
That's all I think about, man. That's all I think about is you guys.
And I
We
think
think
that's
about
why I
you too,
want to
Dan.
take him because he appreciates us.
He does. He loves us.
That was a direct quote.
We're
from
all
Dan
he thinks
Campbell.
about. Okay, I like it. The Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Detroit Lions to beat the Green Bay Packers, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders to beat the BC Lions. You put $20 down. I mean, it's paying half these. What do we got here? I haven't plugged it in yet. I bet you it's close to $100.
Should be.
Yeah, it's in that ballpark. All right, there's your picks. Log of the week. Log it up.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Good morning, City. Would you like to play the name game?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, let's start with your age. How old are you? Because that is a big part of this.
Okay, I'm 26.
26.
26 years old.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll go first, okay?
Okay.
With my questions, then Kirby will ask you some questions, then Joe. How many pair of jeans? Ballpark it for me. How many pairs of jeans do you own?
One.
One pair.
What?
So
One
you-
pair of work jeans.
And so would you say you're not a jeans wearer then? Like when you're not at
No,
work?
not really, no.
Okay.
Well, there's so many different types of like 26 years old now. Like a lot of guys are wearing that sweatpant kind of jean
The
that's out there.
joggers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I'm a pajama pants guy.
Oh,
Pajama pants guy too.
That's
Phil.
amazing. Okay.
You wear them?
yeah, I wear them around the house.
Yeah.
I wear them around the house. Okay. Favorite appy. So you're at a restaurant, like if you go out with Joe, for example, you're loading up on appetizers.
I
We're
like my
talking
appies.
nachos,
Yeah.
matzo sticks, calamari. What jumps out at you when you're getting an appetizer?
I like a mean spinach dip.
Oh, yeah.
Spinach
Yeah.
dip.
Mm-hmm.
Very popular nowadays.
Spin dip, yeah.
I'm a big fan of the matzo sticks, nachos, garlic bread, like cheese bread, something along those lines.
Like any appetizer.
Not calamari.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Right.
Calamari.
You always pass on the calamari.
It's like
yeah.
elastics smothered in garlic. That's what calamari seems like to
With
me.
a seafood scent.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I'm big on the celery and the carrots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know, Miss Rabbit. Okay,
The
go
healthy
ahead.
choice.
Yeah. Go ahead, Curbs.
Okay, what is one place that you've been that you're like, I never want to go back there?
Regina, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would only go as far as Moosomin. Hey?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
far enough.
What?
I was out there for work, not by choice. But yeah.
That's fair. I thought maybe that, or you were there to watch like the Labor Day Classic or something. What can always make you feel better after a bad day? What picks you up?
Seeing my little girl after work.
Man, you
Nice.
are tight with these answers, and they are solid. Like you're hired. If this was a job interview,
What's your little girl's name?
Haven.
Haven?
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Mm-hmm.
Very cute.
Haven, okay.
Thanks.
Okay, JoJo, it's all you.
Your occupation?
I work in the gravel pits. I'm an equipment operator.
Okay, very good. Tough work.
yeah, no doubt.
Working the pits. And this is a food question, actually, too. I had written down your favorite dinner to have made for you. You know, like a lot of times it might be your birthday and someone's going to cook for you. What would be that meal?
Yeah. My wife makes like a nacho bake kind of thing.
Yeah. With
Beans, beef, cream cheese on the bottom.
So you like a nacho taco kind of bake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Making me
That's
hungry.
why he's not ordering those as Zappies, Phil.
Yeah.
It's coming as the main. Okay.
So that's it for our questions.
That's it.
I'll go first. I think we got. I honestly, I think I've got you figured out, Justin.
Nope.
That's funny because my name guess was going to be a J too.
Okay, Landon.
Nope.
Is that close? Any of them close?
No, neither. They're close.
Okay, Kirby.
Are you a Andrew?
Nope.
What about Kyle?
Nope. That's my father's name, though.
Oh, we got the
here we go.
dad's
Always.
name.
Yeah.
We're guaranteed to get someone in your family.
It's just
Always.
shocking,
Or your
really.
work
Yeah.
truck. Somewhere.
I was going to go with Jared.
Nope.
That was my first guess. And you know what? I'm going to throw out Aaron.
No, sir.
Ooh.
Cole.
No.
Are we in the ballpark?
No.
Ooh.
Is it common?
Not fairly common. No.
Jared?
I threw
you
that
said
one
the
out
J.
there
Yeah,
already.
sorry. Okay.
Out of all the names out there, we had to repeat one. Wow, you're a little off today.
Are you sure it's not
I
Jared?
got a lot on my mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Positive.
Really think about
Are
it.
you
I just
sure?
wanted
sure?
to make sure.
I think Kirby
Yeah.
spelled her version differently. That's why.
Yeah, Gerard.
She's going with a Gerard.
Well, your dad's name is Kyle, so that's pretty common. What's your mom's name?
Alicia.
Alicia. And yours is a little different, eh? Okay, you might as well give it to us.
No, wait, one
No?
more guess.
One-
Is it Jared?
I think so. I think you nailed it.
Go ahead. What's your name?
Mason.
Mason.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a good name.
Yeah, that's a
good.
great
That's
We
a
like-
great name, too.
We like Jared better. Anyway. Thanks.
Apparently, yeah.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.